More widespread chaos in the Middle East today. Iran's state media saying at least 95 people were killed in what they're calling a terror attack. Officials reported the deaths following 2 explosions at an event honoring a prominent Iranian general slain in a U.S. airstrike in 2020. Jason Gaidola joins us live tonight with more on the latest developments here. Good evening, Jason.
Hey there, Nicole. In Iran today, many are still reeling from the attack, and questions remain on where it came from. Still, so far, no one has taken responsibility. Meanwhile, in Lebanon, U.S. officials say a top Hamas commander is dead after Israeli artillery struck a building in Beirut, sparking more concerns of ongoing escalation.
A large blast and a screaming crowd in Kerman, Iran, was captured by the country's state media today. One of 2 explosions that reportedly killed at least 95 people and injured 188 others, according to their officials. Iranian state news are calling the blast a terroristic attack, saying one of the bombs was in a suitcase. The explosions happened during the commemoration and near the gravesite of slain General Qasem Soleimani, who was killed by a U.S. airstrike 4 years ago today.
It's too early, at least for us, to be able to say what might have caused it. But I do want to address some of the irresponsible claims that I have seen circulate and say that, number one, the United States was not involved in any way, and any suggestion to the contrary is ridiculous. And number 2, we have no reason to believe that Israel was involved in this explosion.
No group has claimed responsibility for the deadly blasts. This comes as tensions continue to escalate in the Middle East.
When it comes to Iran, they have a lot of tools at their disposal. I mean, Iran doesn't need to get into the fray directly. This has been a shadow war that's been ongoing between Israel and Iran for quite some time. So they've got quite a lot of regional tools at their disposals.
Meanwhile, in Lebanon, concerns about a war beyond the Gaza Strip. Yesterday, Hamas's second-in-command was killed after an airstrike struck a building in Beirut.
The developments are extremely worrying, and I think this just really highlights what the Secretary General had just said about the dangers of the spillover of this conflict in the wider region.
Israel all but admits it carried out the attack, but U.S. defense confirmed it. Lebanon's prime minister is accusing Israel for dragging his country into the conflict, but its foreign minister is urging Hezbollah not to retaliate.
We don't want any escalation in the war. We don't want what's happening in the south to be spread to over Lebanon. We don't like a regional war because it's dangerous to everybody. Dangerous to Lebanon, dangerous to Israel, and to the countries surrounding Israel.
But experts are sounding the alarm about the war inching closer to other regions.
I think we're inching closer and closer to a major regional escalation, which will not remain regional, unfortunately. If things get any worse, they could easily drag in the United States and others into this conflict. But until now, my sense is that Hezbollah will likely raise the ante in terms of, in rhetorical terms. They will need to respond to the assassination, which is the first kind of direct attack in Beirut's southern suburbs since the 2006 war between Hezbollah and Israel.
Also, the U.S. State Department is urging both Hezbollah and Israel not to escalate matters after the attack in Beirut. The Americans say they did not receive advance notice of the airstrike. Nicole.